Hi guys, welcome back to Transits and Tactics. We are in the solar transit in the gate 60. Gate 60 is known as the gate of limitation or the gate of acceptance. And it's a really, really interesting energy. So tune in. Perhaps you will find, that this is the time that you can start something by putting limitations onto your life. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but let's just have a look at this whole concept of the limitations and the energy of the week that we're all experiencing, in the next few days. So this gate is about understanding that there are limitations in our life and also making the most out of what we have. So the theme, there's always a duality, which means that there's always two ways that it can show. It's either, very positive or negative. In a positive way, it's like, okay, I can see that there's limitations, but we can, this can bring us to something tangible. And this is exactly where, if you want to impose limitations, for example, if you want to start a new diet, this is a very good time for it because you can actually see with the limitations what you're doing, where you're creating these boundaries and limits around something so that you can get positive results. On the negative side, you can be a little bit too focused on things, on the horizon. And we just went through a transit with the gates of, that stimulated a lot of ideas. But this gate, this limitation theme is asking us, is it realistic? So I think it's a really, really good time now to assess everything we were drawn in last week. I don't know about you, but I was definitely drawn into projects that not all of them, and we discussed it during our last Transits and Tactics video, not all of them required so much time, but I found myself over the course of the 6 days of the transit being still drawn into thinking and evaluating and deciding on different projects. So now, and I love how everything is just so aligned, you have these ideas, and now there's a question. How realistic is it? How is it within your capabilities? Which is a huge question that sometimes we forget to ask. We get really drawn by this big idea, especially in the world of business coaching and marketing coaching, where, 90 days to 10K and somebody who has never even got a single client, already is so excited that it's going to happen in 3 months. But it's not going to happen in 3 months, right? Because there's a lot of limitations that are in place. In order to reach that goal, you actually have to be already in some sort of place, right? These are the things they don't tell you about. So what is within you, your situation where you are? How can you make the most of it? Maybe you won't get that goal of 10K in 10, in 30, in 3 months, but perhaps you can have a look at how can you come closer to that? What is the next realistic goal that you can set so that you're on the way there, right? That's what I think it's wonderful. We sometimes really forget to have those, bite-sized piece goals. This is the week I think that is perfect for bringing us back to the ground and to start planning. However, of course, there's Earth, and the Earth grounds us in some sort of theme every time. And now it's in the gate of stimulation. So while you're called into, assessing if things are realistic, what can we do? Then there's this gate of stimulation, which is storytelling, which is entertainment. So you might be drawn into binging on Netflix on something completely, either really engaging or completely stupid even. Your brain will want to go into the entertainment land. So watch that. And also remember, there is this great energy for storytelling. So from a marketing perspective, here is a wonderful opportunity to record a podcast episode or write an article or, create some sort of like a storytelling series. Maybe your email marketing needs a little burst. And so this is the perfect opportunity for you to share the stories of transformation, imagination, entertain your followers, right? This is the time. If you know about this theme, okay, people get distracted. How can I add to it so that not in any manipulative way, but as much as marketing is in a way massaging people into a desire to take the next step, the correct ones, of course, always, so how can you provide that entertainment slash getting to know you slash letting their imagination soar So this is what you can do this week. However, on the receiving end, also be aware of this. When you are aware that, whatever coach you're following and whatever stories are appealing to you, there is also more of it this time. There's going to be more desire to binge. So ask yourself, is it realistic? Do I really need it? And maybe you do, and then go ahead and invest. But maybe also you don't. And if you have gate 3 in your chart, in your birth chart, you are now under the influence of this whole activated channel of mutation. And that requires a separate conversation because this is a very, very strong energy. I think that this is one of the 3, if I'm not mistaken, channels that are called format channels. These channels, their energy overrides everything else in your design. And this is the channel of mutation is about a constant change. One of the sources that I was researching before this video gave a really, really good visualization for this energy. It's like imagine a dance floor in a strobing lights, right? They're going up and down. So every time when the light flashes, you see certain people in certain poses. But the next flash, the poses changed. And this, in a way, describes how this energy of channel of mutation in your life takes place. So there is a constant dramatic change, there's constant transformation, and the moment you kind of snooze, you lose, not lose, but the moment your focus goes away somewhere, the situation has changed. So it's up to you to accept. And this is the actual a big word for both. It's the channel of mutation if you have gate 3 in your design, or if it is talking about the limitations. So acceptance of the change in your life, acceptance of limitations, that's going to affect all of us. The whole part about the change, it's only if you have gate 3 in your design. And it's also a very acoustic channel. So if you're feeling, you can feel melancholy, from light melancholy to pure manic depression, because not everyone deals well with change. And if you're born to experience this and you don't see it as this is here for your personal growth, of course you're going to get seriously depressed. I can see how this can very easily happen. So turn to music, turn to nature, anywhere where you can match your mood to the sounds on the outside, which is a really very handy and practical tool actually for realigning your emotional and mental health. So trust that ever-changing mutative energy. These lessons will not last forever because you are experiencing this channel of mutation that will change. So things will get better again if they're bad. Things will change. Be ready and just accept. So this is again, it's only if you have this gate. Now, an interesting little side note, my own personal side notes, I don't have gate 3 activated in any of my official planets, but both of my Chiron are in gate 3, design and personality and design, which really means that this is my karmic story of my life. And actually, those of you who do follow me and those of you who read my book know that in my life things change, and they change pretty dramatically, and then they change for the best or for the worst pretty dramatically very quickly. And so it might not be within a short period of time. It takes much longer. But when I was reading about this channel mutation, I thought, how is it going to affect me? And maybe if you do have your Chiron in gate 3, my personal observation is that it's a much, much, much more slower energy. And again, accepting that and turning to music when things don't feel, when these changes don't feel right, or you need to realign. Oh, such a great, great thing. That's exactly what I do. And then there's periods when things are fine and I don't need to listen to music as much. Then I listen to podcasts, right? So very, very interesting energy. I am really enjoying it. So far, I'm enjoying it. Anita, how are you experiencing this transit?
Yeah, I enjoy this energy as well. What I want to bring to your attention is that Pluto has been activating this gate 60 on and off for the last 3 years or so. So you'll already have been experiencing potentially difficulty beginning things. Trying to get things off the ground might have been hard. And as you said, it's a gate of limitation, but that limit is really what structure do I need to put in place for that to happen? You also made a very good point about, now is a good time to be investing in programs. However, what I would do is qualify first with the super duper program that someone is advertising. Make $1 gazillion every month or whatever that is. Ask the question, what do you need in place for this program to work for you? Because what can happen is you go into quite a techie course that can actually, you can be overwhelmed by it and it ends up on your shelf because you don't know how to use it. Or you need to hire someone to bring it into play. So be very careful and clear about what you need to help yourself moving forward. I think that's a really good part of this gate. Also, what you need to know is that, and if you look back over the different transits that we've done, I've brought in a different big perspective element into the call so that you can see what's coming. The nodes have changed, moved from Aries, Libra into Pisces and Virgo. Now, what this means energetically with this gate going on today is that it's it's moving. The last time it was here was 2006. So it's a big change in your work energy, work daily routine, how you're eating, how you're exercising, sleeping, all the different routines and habits that you have day to day are going to be up for review in a way that it's, well, where do you need to let go things that are actually draining your energy? And what routines do you need to adjust to make sure that you're healthy, wealthy, and wise in your work ethic and in your home ethic, in your relationships? Where are you, for example, in your business, overgiving, overachieving, overdoing, and you need to step back and get that energy in gear? Because at the end of the day, when you're running your own business, you are at the front and center of that business. If you're too exhausted to do something, the universe just comes back, usually with
Yeah.
reduced opportunities to force you to rest, right? So it's just to be aware, this is great energy for breakthrough. I know I work this with my daughter. She has the gate 3. I don't have the gate 60, but I know I've had that influence for the last 3 years. So I'll do a marketing piece and I'll hand it to her and she can just edit it really easy. So she can literally clean it up to come across as more innovative and more current for me. The 60s kind of stayed. It's where, we hold on to or don't allow for growth. We fight, we're literally probably fighting the change, but we're defending what we know isn't working to do that. So it can be really disruptive and create a lot of paralysis and resistance to moving forward. So we are changing now, whether we like it or not. The energies, these old karmic energies, old family energies are being cleared. You might actually feel even lonely because the clearing of this emotion, it's been our security blanket for so long to have these energies, to be carrying these energies that when they're gone, we miss them. But believe me, it's like old toxic energy. Let it go and just reconnect more deeply so that you move into anticipation of what you want to create next rather than grief about what's going. So all the energies, all the planets are aligned to support us to change. And you can be dragged through this kicking and screaming, or you can go with the flow. And this is what we're offering you the opportunity to do, right? Go with the flow if you can, because it's so much more easy.
Exactly. And as we said, this is now the acceptance is, we're basically screamed at. Accept. It's easier to accept with, even with talking about limitations, it's easier to accept your limitations and work with them, even if this means pushing a little bit of, pushing your comfort zone. You just mentioned, if you're not techie, for example, or if you don't think that you're writing in a way that you think it should be, a lot of times you just don't trust yourself. So this is a limitation you have, internal limitation. Now you can accept it and outsource. You can do that. You can also accept it and work with it. right? You can try and improve it, and you can try and work on self-trust, which is really, really important. And you know what? Yes, we all have our limitations. We tell ourselves these stories. My last 3 years, you mentioned 3 years. I have a limitation I brought today for this recording. This is my limitation. This little thing here is stopping me from, taking over the world, basically, because he is the reason why I'm stuck in so many ways. And so, we are working on that this week. We're starting a training course this week. So there is a way to accept the limitation and see, okay, what can I do about this? Instead of getting really frustrated, which can happen, or, dreaming about something that's unrealistic. You want to add something?
Absolutely. That limitation, this is really important for moving forward because Pluto is moving and the Sun next week are moving into the gate 41, which is a starter codon. Mars will be in 53. So it's begin, begin, begin. Take the action, get moving right next week. But Pluto's in the gate 41 on and off for the next 3 or 4 years until the end of 2028. And it is the gate of manifesting through limitation. So it's where you're limited that you feel it's restricting you, that you are now manifesting from. Okay, this is restricting me. What do I need to do to overcome this obstacle? Um, Based on what's worked already. So, this is really important. It's going to be a place where the limitation can be supporting me. It can be actually a discipline that I'm implementing in my life so that I'm not so distracted.
Mm.
Or it can be something that's informing me, okay, this is way too restrictive. One of the things was last year, I remember I was doing human design readings and I love doing them, but the particular way that I was pulling it together required a lot of work. And my decision was this is way too limiting. This is way too restrictive. I'm doing way too much work for what I'm charging for this. I need to reassess. And that's really what we're looking at. Look at your work practices. Where are they genuinely draining you? Where are you making up stories to keep that going? Where are you allowing people, you might have that boss that's running you into the ground or that partner that's not acknowledging your energies. And where are you not stepping up and saying, listen, dude, or listen, this is what I can do. And let them know or ask them, very good question, what would you like me to prioritize? Because, when we work with these energies, as Juliet says, when we accept them and move with them, that acceptance is the key to actually the next steps.
Mm.
It's when we're fighting with the limit that we just get stuck, stucker than stuck. If that's where we move through. Accepting, okay, I'm limited, it isn't working. Stop making me wrong, stop making you wrong. Let's just open up to what needs to happen instead. And there you go, your next step shows up. It's
I
really
love
cool.
that. I love that. I actually wrote something. I wrote that, when you're focusing on a goal that's too much out of reach, what is the natural
Mm.
feeling that comes? Overwhelm.
Yeah.
Overwhelm. You say something like when you try to manifest something that's way too out of reach, that's what you feel. When you say, okay, how am I going to do it? Whoa, overwhelm. But knowing what can be achieved, knowing your limitations brings ease and serenity. And that's exactly what you need to focus on this.
That is so true. And, also you're going to find if you're open-headed and Ajna, you're more telepathic than ever. So you really need to qualify those ideas with your decision strategy. Also qualify the actions. Make sure that you're in alignment with your energy. You probably will find you need to do more exercise anyway. If you're a generator, manifesting generator, there's a lot of energy that you need to clear before you go to bed. It can be why you're struggling with your sleep because you're not clearing your energy before the end of the day. So keep an eye on your day-to-day routines. They'll be coming up, they'll be more front and center for the next year and a half.
I love it. I love how we are talking about, whatever is going to happen in these 6 days of the transit. But with Anita's knowledge, I just love that there's a bigger picture because sometimes you think, okay, this is energy just here for now and then it's over. But knowing something that is going to, for example, affect you for a year and a half, that gives you power. In my awareness gives you power. That's what I believe.
It really does. And it's a big change in work, in
Mm.
work, work application. Last time, 2006, when this came in, I moved from biomedical science into angel healing and teaching. And I actually started my business in '07. So, it's it's an energy that's encouraging us to make sure that we're not burning out, to make sure that we're applying our energy correctly, and to respect that the work world has worked on stress for so many as the main motivator. Um, this time for this is going to shift.
I love it. And guys, Anita keeps mentioning that she's working with angels. She also can teach you how to work with angels and to certify you how to work with angels with other people as well. So she has an awesome program starting soon, like literally next week, right? So do check it out. Do reach out to Anita if this is something that kind of lights you up when you hear it, but you want to know more, and you're not asking for some reasons, limited. So we're giving you this green light. Guys, we will see you in the next episode of Transits and Tactics. Just go with the flow. Everything is all right. Look for the ease, and I think that everything will align. We'll see you later. Bye.